Never let go of a man who does these 7 things for you. Have you ever met someone who doesn't just love you, but elevates your entire life? The kind of man whose actions make you question if you'll ever meet someone like him again. There's a saying, a rare gem is only appreciated by those who truly understand its value. That's what we're diving into today. Those rare qualities in a man that are too precious to overlook. But before we jump in, here's a question for you. What's the most unique thing a partner has ever done for you that made you stop and think, wow, he's special? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Now, let's set the stage. Imagine you're moving through life, meeting people, experiencing relationships. But then someone comes along who doesn't just tick the boxes. He redefines what a relationship should feel like. He's not perfect, nobody is, but his actions go beyond the usual, beyond what most people talk about. And that's exactly what we're discussing today. This isn't your typical, he remembers to text back or he takes you out on date night. These are uncommon actions, rooted in deep care and awareness that set a man apart. And if you find someone like this, hold on to him tightly, because men like this are rare. Number 1, he protects your energy. When we think of protection, most people imagine physical safety, but a truly exceptional man goes deeper. He protects your emotional and mental energy too. Here's a story. I know someone whose boyfriend would gently steer her away from toxic situations. If a conversation was draining her or a friendship was bringing more harm than good, he'd remind her, you deserve peace, not drama. He wasn't controlling or dismissive. He was simply attuned to her well-being. He knew that true love isn't about shielding someone from life's challenges, but about being a partner who preserves their inner peace. Now, think about this. When was the last time someone cared enough to help you filter out negativity, not for their benefit, but purely for yours? That's the kind of man who doesn't just protect you, he values your energy. Number 2, he notices what you don't say. Actions speak louder than words, but sometimes it's the unspoken that reveals the most. I remember a story about a husband who surprised his wife with an entire day off from all her responsibilities. She didn't ask for it. In fact, she hadn't even voiced her exhaustion. But he noticed the way she lingered over her morning coffee, the sighs she let out when she thought no one was looking. He quietly planned a day where she could do nothing but rest and recharge. That's love in action. It's about tuning into the little details, the things she doesn't say but feels deeply. It's the kind of care that says, I see you, even when you think you're invisible. Now, let me ask you, have you ever had someone notice your needs before you even realize them yourself? If you have, you know how rare and precious that feeling is. Number 3, he learns your love language. Love isn't a one-size-fits-all experience. A man who truly values you doesn't just love you in the way that feels natural to him. He learns to love you in the way that speaks directly to your heart. Here's a powerful example. A woman once told me her boyfriend wasn't naturally a gift giver. It wasn't his style, but he noticed how much her face lit up when she received a small, thoughtful present, like her favorite snack or a book she'd mentioned in passing. So he made the effort to learn her love language. It wasn't about the value of the gifts, it was about what they symbolized. Each small gesture said, I see you, I hear you, and I care enough to show you in a way that it matters to you. Now think about your own love language. Wouldn't it mean the world to you if someone not only understood it, but went out of their way to express love in a way that resonated deeply? That's what makes this quality so rare and worth cherishing. Number 4, he challenges you to dream bigger. True love doesn't just make you feel comfortable, it pushes you toward growth. A partner who truly values you will inspire you to break free from self-doubt and go after your wildest aspirations. A friend once shared a story that stuck with me. She had a long-standing dream of starting her own business, but was too afraid to take the first step. Her partner didn't just listen passively as she talked about it. He stopped her mid-sentence one day and asked, why aren't you chasing that crazy dream you always talk about? What's really stopping you? That simple question lit a spark in her. He didn't just support her dreams, he actively nudged her to believe in herself more than she ever had. He even helped her research, brainstorm ideas, and plan her first steps. Today, her business is thriving, and she credits much of her success to having someone who not only believed in her, but also held her accountable to her potential. Ask yourself this, has anyone ever inspired you to dream beyond your limits? If so, you know how rare and transformative that kind of love can be. And if you haven't yet, hold out for it. It's worth the wait. Number 5, he admits when he's wrong. There's something profoundly grounding about being with someone who can admit their mistakes. It's not just about the words, it's the humility and self-awareness behind them. I once heard about a couple who had a big argument over something trivial, like where to go for dinner. Things escalated and hurtful words were exchanged. But the next morning, her partner came to her and said, "You're right, I let my pride get in the way, and I need to do better. I'm sorry." That moment wasn't just about resolving a fight. It was about building trust. A man who can admit when he's wrong shows that he values the relationship more than his ego. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real and willing to grow. Now, think about this. How often do people truly own their mistakes without excuses? When a man does this, it's a sign of strength, not weakness. Number 6, he shows up when it's hard. Life isn't always easy, and the true test of love is how someone shows up during the tough times. This isn't about grand, sweeping gestures, it's about quiet consistency. I remember a story about a woman who lost a close family member. She shared how her boyfriend didn't try to fix her pain or distract her with cliches. Instead, he just sat with her, held her hand, and let her cry without judgment. He made her feel safe in her grief, showing her that she didn't have to go through it alone. That's the kind of presence that leaves a lasting impact. It's not flashy or dramatic. It's steady, unwavering support when it matters the most. If you have someone who shows up for you in the hard moments, hold on to them. They're worth their weight in gold. And number 7, he makes you feel seen. Feeling truly seen by someone is one of the most precious gifts a partner can give. It's not about grand displays of attention, it's about the little things they remember and cherish about you. A friend once told me about her boyfriend who knew exactly how she took her coffee: 2 sugars and a splash of almond milk. He remembered the obscure childhood story she loved to tell about her first pet, and he knew she hated cold pizza with a passion. These weren't just random observations, they were proof that he paid attention, that he cared enough to store those details in his heart. When a man remembers the things that make you uniquely you, he's not just paying attention, he's cherishing you in the truest sense of the word. So, here's a question for you. What's a little detail about you that your partner has remembered, and how did it make you feel? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear those moments that made you feel truly seen. So, if you're lucky enough to have a man like this, never let him go. Men like that aren't just rare, they're priceless. With that said, thanks for watching, and until the next time.